What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of 3 at 3, your best source for NBA player prop picks. I'm your host, Andrew Caley, and coming off another losing night last night. It's been a very much a roller coaster week this week. We had a bit of a profit the first day, then a terrible winless day, then we swept the next day and lost a bit of profit. So we're going to try to kick off the weekend on a winning note here. We're going to start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to go over 27.5 points as the Thunder host the Timberwolves. Now, the Thunder are statistically one of the worst offenses in the NBA this season, but you cannot blame SGA for that. The Long Thunder point guard has taken his game to the next level lately. He's averaging 28.2 points per game while shooting a very solid 50.8% from field over his last 13 games, and he has been on fire since coming out of the All-Star break. He's put up 29 or more points in 4 consecutive games. And now he gets a really interesting matchup against the T-Wolves. That defense has been a little better this year, definitely better than we've seen in year past from Minnesota teams. But the offense has really picked up lately for Minnesota, and it's kind of left the defense a little lagging. Over their last 10 games, the T-Wolves ranked 22nd in defensive rating, while giving up the third most points per game at 120.6 points per contest. So I think there should be added opportunity for SGA here. And he's been a handful for anyone these days, with him pouring in 29 or more in 10 of that 13-game stretch there. So we like his chances to go over 27.5 points tonight. Next up, we go with Donovan Mitchell over 3.5 made threes as the Utah Jazz visit the New Orleans Pelicans. The Jazz guard has been on an absolute tear since returning from a concussion that cost him 8 games in the middle of January and into February. He's putting up 28.9 points per game while shooting 49.4% from the field, and that includes a crazy 44.2% from three-point range, and that's over a 9-game stretch, so not really a small sample size there. He's just playing really, really well. Very hot hand from beyond the arc. That percentage of over 44% is on over 10.6 attempts per game. So it's not like he's just taking 5 or 6 or even 7 threes a game. That's over 10 threes per game. And he's hit 4 or more threes 7 times in that 9-game stretch, including each of the last 5 games overall. And this Pelicans defense, while it's been better lately, it still has some issues on the perimeter. It ranks 23rd in opponent three-point shooting percentage and 17th in opponent three-pointers allowed per game. Hitting 4 threes in any game is obviously tough, but with the rhythm that Mitchell is in, the matchup against the Pels, plus we're getting plus money to boot in this, you're going to have to sign me up for that any day of the week. And we're going to close here with Tobias Harris going under 15.5 points as the 76ers host the Cavaliers. Now, I'm going to start this off with a little caveat here. It has come out that Harris, since I've written this, that Harris is questionable for this game against the Cavaliers with an illness. I haven't heard if it's a health or safety protocol, but it's obviously he's questionable right now. The props are off the board, but if they do pop on the board, I will take the under 15.5 points. Again, we're going back to the well of the James Harden ball hogging that's going on in Philly these days. You knew there'd be some casualties with the way that he dominates the ball, and it's obviously been Harris in his first few games with his new team. The Sixers small forward was averaging 15 field goal attempts per game before Harden showed up, and now that's down to 9.3 in these games. He's put up 6, 12, and 14 points in those matchups, and now faces a Cavaliers team that is one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They're ranked 4th in defensive rating and 5th in opponent effective field goal percentage, so this isn't exactly a matchup where you'd expect Harden to start passing Harris the ball. You know, he could even be in the corner with a special hoop that's 10 feet wide, and Harden will probably still keep the ball for himself. That's just the way he is. So if Harris is able to go under 15.5 points, but keep an eye on his status leading up into this game. Because of that, I've decided to give you guys a bonus play today, just in case he doesn't go, and that is Scotty Barnes to go over 7.5 rebounds as the Toronto Raptors host the Orlando Magic. Really quickly here, Barnes has come on really strong in the second half of the season. He won Rookie of the Month for the month of February, and he's just been dominating the last 3 games, all without Fred VanVleet. He's really picked up his game in Fred's absence. He's averaging 23 points and 12 rebounds per game over his last 3 games. And while the Magic have some solid rebounders like Mo Bamba and Wendell Carter Jr., Jr. is also questionable for this matchup. The Magic aren't a good rebounding team overall, ranking 26th in both rebounding percentage and opponent rebounds per game. So bonus play, Scotty Barnes over 7.5 rebounds. So to quickly recap, we are going Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 27.5 points, Donovan Mitchell over 3.5 made threes, Tobias Harris under 15.5 points, and as a bonus, Scotty Barnes over 7.5 rebounds. So that's it for 3 at 3 today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video.